Okay, Giulia Speziali.
Yes.
If at any point I say something incorrectly, you can correct my Italian pronunciation,
All
okay?
right. Sure.
But we're going
It's
to do
my
this in
job.
English. Yes, it is your job. Your English is much better than my Italian, and the audience largely is English speaking, so
Sure.
maybe we'll get some Chinese out of you as well. Okay.
Possible.
Well, welcome. Thank you for coming. You're my second guest.
Thank you for having me.
You are an Italian teacher,
Mm-hmm.
professional Italian teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a lot of insights and things that I would like people to be aware of and learn from you. And I'd like to learn from you just kind of your experiences being a teacher and also some of your experiences beyond just Italian and English, which we can get into. So with that, tell me about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm from Perugia in Italy, in the region of Umbria. Nobody ever knows where it is. It's like in the middle of Italy. It's like between Florence and Rome, pretty much. I was born there, grew up there.
What makes Perugia different than other parts of Italy?
For me, it's like, because I live here, I'm so used to see it every day.
Sure.
So it's kind of normal for me. I guess what makes it different is we have the chocolate, the Perugina chocolate, which is very famous and good. What else? What do we have? Well, food-wise, there's a lot of prosciutto and salame, that kind of Italian, delicacies.
Yeah. A lot of wild boar, cinghiale.
Cinghiale, true.
There were cinghiale right out here a few months ago,
really?
Out on the street. Yeah.
Really? Wow. Don't think I've ever seen one like
in the center.
Alive.
No?
Just on my plate. Like a ragu or something.
Yeah, like the head is looking at you.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so you studied in Italy?
I studied till high school, yes, here, and then I went to Venice University. I studied in Venice, and then it's not an Erasmus because I went to China. China is not Erasmus part. Erasmus is for European Union countries.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I studied a few months at the Beijing Language University.
A few months?
Yeah.
And you learned Mandarin?
Yes.
Did you know Mandarin before going there?
Yes, I studied it at the University of Venice.
Okay.
And then I went to Beijing, like I said, for a few months. And then after I finished my studies in Venice, I went to Shanghai for a few months also.
Okay.
Not to a university, just to a language school.
Why Chinese? Where did that come from?
Well, in high school, because in Italy we have different kinds of high school. So you have like specific high schools, you have scientific high school, languages high school, where you kind of like specialize in just studying. Like if you go to the scientific, you will have more math, chemistry, physics, and languages. Obviously, you have more foreign languages. I went to the language one and I studied English, French, and German, which for now I only know English and French a little bit. German is gone, completely gone. And so after those, I thought, okay, let me up my game a little bit, because that's all European countries. I mean, languages, even though English is international, obviously. But so I thought, let me do something different, And China, obviously, it's growing fast. So
I've heard of it. Yeah.
You heard of it?
I've heard of China. Yeah.
You ever heard of it? It's a tiny country, like on the other side of the world. Yeah. So I thought maybe it would help me with jobs in the future, even though I didn't know back then what I wanted to do. But I thought, I'm good at foreign languages, so maybe I should try and do that. And then, and that's why.
And then when did you decide to go to Beijing?
I think it was my second or third year of university. And I decided to go there because obviously, you learn a language in your own country. It's one thing, but going there, it's a whole different thing, just hearing it every day and try to talk to the locals. It's something that every language learner has to do sooner or later.
Did you learn Mandarin from a native Chinese speaker in Italy?
We had different teachers. So we had an Italian teacher that was teaching us grammar, Chinese grammar in Italian. And then conversation and writing, we had native speakers from Beijing, because Mandarin is the language that they speak in Beijing.
Okay.
So it's the official language of the whole country.
Weren't you teaching some Chinese students? You were teaching Italian to them, right?
Yes.
Was that part of your decision to learn Chinese?
No, because that came after.
Okay.
Yeah. I first learned the language and then I got a job at a Chinese school.
And so
after.
when you teach Chinese children, you speak to them in Chinese when you're teaching them Italian, like to
Yeah,
help.
the school that I work for, they prefer this approach. So they prefer using Chinese. I tried to move to Italian a little bit,
Sure.
but for grammar, I still explain grammar in Chinese.
What is it? Is it like explaining Italian grammar in Chinese? That just sounds like that's like calculus 3 to me.
I mean, I had to learn some vocabulary, like how to say verb, adverb, adjective, nouns, this kind of grammar vocabulary. But then actually at the end, it's not that much vocabulary. Like once you learn this word and then you learn how to say like endings, how to say conjugation, and then you say, I don't know, pronoun goes before the verb, but this preposition goes after the verb. It's all the same at the end. So I'm just repeating the same thing. That's why my Chinese vocabulary right now, it's not very good. Like I can talk grammar.
I was tell you really need to improve it.
I can talk about grammar very well, but that's not a topic that you would choose when you're just chatting with someone.
Right.
So I'm good at talking about grammar. If I have to talk about, I don't know, food, travel, probably I'm a little rusty there.
What else was I going to ask? I forgot.
About the story of the Chinese boy.
So you were teaching a Chinese boy, and this got you into what you're doing now, which is you have a lot of Chinese students. How did this start?
So it started when I still didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew that I could speak English, I could speak Chinese, and I could speak French, German, already forgotten. And after I graduated, one of my mom's relatives, she's working at what we call a dopo scuola, which means after school. Because schools in Italy are usually it's just in the morning, and then if you're working the whole day, you don't have anyone to leave your kid with. You can bring him or her to this after school, this dopo scuola. They will have lunch and they will do homework with teachers. And this relative of mine, she called me to say that there was this Chinese boy that just arrived from China. He was 12 years old at the time. Couldn't speak Italian, couldn't speak English, he could only speak Mandarin. And so obviously there was a problem of communication there. And so she was like, would you come over to the dopo scuola, so like just in the afternoon, and teach him some Italian? And I was like, I've never done that. I don't know how to teach Italian. And she was like, yeah, but you can speak Chinese.
You had never taught Italian to anybody at this point? Not even English speakers?
No, not at all. So that's why I was like, I don't know if I can do it because I've never done it. But they were desperate. Like I went there to the dopo scuola to talk to the manager, I guess. And he was like, you have never done this before? I said, no, I have not. And he said, well, we need someone to speak to him. Like they were desperate. They couldn't find anyone. And it's like, you can speak Chinese, at least you can talk to him.
Sure.
And so I did that for the whole academic year from October to May, improvising, I guess.
With this one student?
With this one student. Yeah.
And when was this?
2018 to 2019.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's what started. And then did you realize, like, I enjoy this teaching?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I like it. And then the best part was seeing him going from, during playtime. He was approached by other kids, but they couldn't understand each other. So he would just stay in his corner and just either watch the others or play by himself. And then in May, he was just running around with them, just having fun.
Talking in Italian.
Yeah, that was so nice. And then I met him a few years ago. A few years after. I don't remember when. I remember we had masks on. So it was probably 2020 or 2021. And he recognized me. And we talked for a bit. And he was speaking Italian with no foreign accent at all. He sounded just like someone not from here, not with a local accent, but, not from here, Perugia specifically, but yeah. And I was like, wow, this is so
How old was
cool.
he at this point?
Well, he was 12 in 2018, so 2020, probably like 14, 15, yeah. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, maybe I can do that. So I got my teaching certificate because obviously you need a paper to show that you can do things. But that paper was like, I could just throw it away. I mean, I learned everything.
Sure.
I did this course and this exam and everything, but it didn't really, it's like a job that you learn how to do it by doing it, I feel like.
Sure. I mean, that's most jobs.
Like the experience is better than the piece of paper.
Sure. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that turned into teaching more Chinese students.
Yes, through a school.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now you do that, plus you teach anybody who wants to learn Italian.
Yes. Because the methods that schools uses, I think, are a little... I don't enjoy their methods that much.
Okay.
It's like, again, it was a Chinese school, and their approach is very similar to the one that they have in Italy when teaching languages, which is grammar. Speaking, if you want to do it, but it's not necessary. That's the their method, and I'm like, that's not gonna work.
Sure.
I mean, so that's why I was just like, I just want to try and use what I think it's a better method, which is just a better focus on speaking and not do just drilling exercises or fill in the blanks exercises all the time.
Sure.
And so, just get to do this job, but I think in a way that helps the students more, because it's not about me at the end.
Sure.
It's about them. Yes.
So you teach Chinese students, still you do currently.
Yes.
As well as you teach some Americans as well.
Mm-hmm.
You see a difference in the learning approach, or how students, like what makes a Chinese student different than an American student?
Well, the Chinese, I think in general, in everything they do, they are like very, very focused on theory a lot. So they focus more when I give them like grammar exercises, understand how to conjugate the verbs, how to change, the endings of nouns and adjectives. They're more focused on theory first.
Okay.
I think like the Americans, they like to talk more.
We do like to talk.
Yes, so they're more focused on they're more interested in the speaking part.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And the Chinese are just more theoretical. The practice, it's something that I struggle a lot with them, because it's hard to make them talk.
They're more timid.
They're very timid.
But they could probably pass a written exam much
better.
Yes.
I have a student, she's not studying with me anymore because she's done with the course, but she needs to take a B2 exam to go to the Italian university to study. And she told me that the part that worries her the most is the speaking. Yeah. I
mean, I don't know Chinese or any other languages
Italian.
other than Italian and some Spanish. Italian pronunciation is pretty tough. I don't know. I imagine something like Japanese must be just a whole other level. But Italian pronunciation is tough, and I find that if you're not very correct, people notice it, and they don't make fun of you, but they're like, they correct you in Italian. It's like, you say something that sounds so right in your head, like the name, like Mario, and they're like, Mario. And I'm like, no, Mario. It's like, it's the same goddamn thing. So I could see where they're coming from, being timid, but you got to be able to talk. What's the point in learning a language if you're not going to converse with people?
Yeah. Well, because their idea is that, I have to take the exam. Because they need, I think, a B1. No, I think they need a B2, if I'm not mistaken, to go to Italian university. Because most of the school that I work for, they specialize in helping university students who want to go study in Italy. So they need to take an exam. It's just part of the paperwork. And so for them, I think it's just like, I need to take the exam. Like, that's the goal. The goal is not, I have to speak in Italy. So they focus more on the grammar and this kind of things. Yeah.
So how much time did you spend in Beijing?
I think 2 or 3 months. I don't remember. I think 2, because it was in the summer. Yeah.
What was the most interesting thing that you ate in Beijing?
What did I eat? I saw the road in Beijing where they sell insects, but I didn't have the courage to try it. No, many people try the scorpions, not the big black scorpions, but the little ones. Yeah, but the thing is that they are alive, and then they fry them, I think. And so when I saw the legs like moving like this. I was like, no, 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 no. Those legs moving, they just, yeah,
That's
no.
before, and then after.
Yeah, after they say they taste like a chip, but I haven't tried it. I think probably has to be something like chicken feet.
Oh, how was
Which
that?
I don't like the texture, to be honest. It's just a very, I don't know. It's kind of chewy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I also tried the century egg, like the black egg. Don't know if you've ever seen it. It looks like a hard-boiled egg, but it's black. So the outer part is black, and the yolk is kind of like gray, green,
Okay.
kind of.
Did it taste like an egg?
Tastes like an egg. Again, the texture was interesting. The yolk has a similar texture to the like
It was
a
black?
regular. It's black. It kind of turns into some sort of gelatin, like the white part.
Are you sure you didn't find this egg outside of like an old nuclear facility? It sounds.
It was in a soup.
Okay. Okay.
So luckily it tasted kind of like the soup, because I've heard that if you just eat it without anything, it's a little bitter. But I ate it in a soup, so I think it absorbed the soup flavor.
Have you found any good Chinese food in Italy?
So before going to China, I thought Chinese food here was good. And then after I've been to China, I'm like, no, I think they adapted something to the
Sure.
Italian taste.
Like they took all the spice out of it.
Yeah. And I remember one time after I came back from Beijing, I was in Mestre near Venice, and I went to this Chinese restaurant, and I mean, you can ask my friend. She looked at me. She was like, "What's going on with you?" Because I was, oh my God, this tastes like China.
Really?
I could tell the difference.
In Mestre, do you remember the name of the place?
No,
I'll have to get it from you later.
It was like thinking one of the main square. There's like a mall nearby.
Okay.
I don't even know if it's still there though, because I'm talking about 2015 or something.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'll have to find out. And if we find it and it's still there, I'll put it in the notes for this.
I think probably Milan, maybe you can get some good
Okay.
one, because there's a Chinatown. Or maybe Florence.
I've had good Chinese food there, but I've never been to China, so I don't. What do I know? There were no crickets or no.
But that's not something normal, because a lot of people, they tell me, oh, do they eat insects all the time? I'm like, no, it's just that road there for tourists even, maybe. And obviously not in Beijing, like, because that's the main city. Maybe if you go to smaller cities, yes, but not the big advanced cities, let's call modern cities. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the stereotype is that they eat dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Which I don't.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I just ate everything. If I can give a tip to anyone who wants to go to China and eat there, if you see that your food is red, something red, it can be a soup, it can be a sauce, just try a little bit first, because it could be the spiciest thing you have ever had. Yeah. So beware.
Sounds amazing right
beware
now.
of the red.
We should get Chinese food after this.
We can do that. Let's see if it's real Chinese food.
We should do that. We'll do it. We'll make a video. We'll do
Oh, okay.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
I know a place that I love, but I don't know if it's
authentic.
I'm sure it's not, but it's great.
I will judge.
You've been there. Well, yeah, about here. Okay, so you have a lot of experience teaching Italian.
Mm-hmm.
What do you find students struggle with the most?
So I would say it depends on what their native language is. Because what happens when you learn a new language and you find like a problem, like a gap, your brain automatically goes back to your native language to fill the gap. And so it depends on how different your language is. For example, Spanish speakers, they struggle less with grammar, or French or Romanian, they struggle less with grammar because it's a Latin language. So it's similar. They struggle with vocabulary more. And then you have Americans and Chinese struggling with grammar more and pronunciation. But I would say probably overall, people struggle more with verb conjugations and the gender and number of nouns and adjectives, I would say, which is a problem because that's like the very beginning.
Sure. What about pronunciation?
Pronunciation, again, it really depends on what your native language is, because I feel like I'm not an expert on this, but I think that your mouth, like the muscles here they are used to certain sounds, to move in a certain way, to produce sounds. And so it depends if the difference with your native language. Of course, Spanish speakers, they do good with Italian pronunciation. Chinese, I would say not that bad. Probably they struggle with the R sound because they don't have it. Americans, yeah, I think they struggle a lot, I have to say.
Just in general.
In general, yeah.
We're a few years behind in a lot of ways. Ahead in others.
Not like that, but it's because the sound, it's very different. It's also when Italians speak English. Like Italians, they speak English like this, right? Like this.
Like this.
Like this.
Like,
so
yeah.
It's a lot of, I think, nasal sounds.
Where does that come from? Why does Italy have this? I know people say the English education in Italy is not that good, but there has to be something more than that. Why do some Italians still, even after moving to the USA, still maintain such a thick accent?
I mean, I cannot speak for all of them, but I feel like some people, they are kind of embarrassed to make certain sounds that I think are weird to them. Like I've heard some people that I know that maybe can speak English, but they maintain their accent. And I'm like, why do you not, like, you just have to imitate the native speakers. That's it, pretty much. And they're like, yeah, but I sound ridiculous or something. So I don't know if it's in something, I think it's in their head.
Yeah.
Something in their head that they think they would embarrass themselves maybe. Or maybe they just don't care. They just don't want to put the effort.
Maybe they don't care. They get good enough. I mean, I'm guilty of that in Italian, as you get to the point where you're good enough and you feel like that's enough. But it's not. You should keep going. I know.
Could be. Oh, but your pronunciation is in Italian. I think it's good. You don't hear the American accent too much.
I can turn it up. Thank you. I can turn up the American.
Oh, if you want to.
Sì, io posso parlare così.
Yeah. Me too. I can also talk like this, but I don't.
See, I can somebody asks like, oh, they try to speak in English with an Italian accent. I can't do it. Like I don't have
English with Italian. Oh, okay.
Like
I
to
see.
make fun of like Italian speaking English. I don't even know how to like form the sounds. I struggle with that. Other than like very good. That's what they say. Very good.
I'm thinking, can I speak Italian with an American accent? Posso parlare italiano?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess I can
It's pretty
do it.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you and your friends make fun of Americans, I'm sure.
No, we don't really. I mean, only those who are dumb enough to out themselves as dumb on social media.
Like who?
Like one time.
You want to name names?
No, I don't know names. It's just memes that I see, you know. Like, oh God, this one, I even told an American student of mine, because I thought that was so funny.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, okay. It was like a comment under a cooking video. And in the cooking video, the person said, oh, you have to let the water boil, so 200 degrees, which is Celsius. And someone commented, water doesn't boil at 100 degrees. And probably talking about Fahrenheit.
Right.
And another person said, well, it does in Celsius. And that first person answered, where is that?
Oh, they didn't know what. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, they are kind of asking to be made fun of.
Oh, the person in the video said it.
No, it was a comment.
It was in the comments.
In the
comments are just the places where people go to work out all of their insecurities and the problems that they have. If they have something or some childhood trauma, they bring it to the comment sections. Yeah. And if you do anything wrong in a video, they're just no, this is wrong.
Yeah.
Or like, no, this place sucks. Or like, I would never get this food there because it sucks. It's like, but it's fine for engagement. So bring it on, folks. Just say all your shit in the comments. It's fine.
That's
it helps
true.
us.
If you don't have anything else to do, I guess.
Yeah, it's fine.
Just do it.
I mean, now you've seen this as well. And it's like I get comments in videos now that I wish you could turn off the notifications. Like I still want the video to stay there. So people see it, whatever. But I wish I could turn off my notifications because I'm over it. But it's okay. It's my fault.
Yeah. Well, it's also their fault.
Yeah. What's been your experience? Because you do a lot of stuff on social media. You have a really good profile. What I like about what you do as a teacher is you do a lot of you're very much like to the point. Like you do a lot of no bullshit. Like, okay, you'll see trends on social media with teaching with teachers of Italian, and you're like, this is what I see a lot, but this is not actually true, and here's why. Is that a deliberate approach, or is that just how you just are naturally?
Well, when I first started with the idea of doing this on social media, the first thing that I did was I just opened Instagram and I started looking at other Italian teachers' profiles, and I just hated most of them. I mean,
can you name some names?
No, no, but like, I really don't like. It's just me personally. Those videos where they say, "How do you say blah 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 in Italian?" And then the things appear, and then they just go, this, 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 this. I'm like, okay, and
yeah, like how do you use
what
this?
did I get from that?
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
Some random vocabulary. Okay, cool. I will probably forget it in like, I don't know, a few hours.
So what's a better way to do that?
Good question. I'm figuring out. I mean, I'm just doing what I like and what some other people, not those that make this videos, just people who made videos that I actually enjoy, suggested me. So like opinions, just unpopular opinions, some hacks.
You do like the unpopular opinions. You're good at those.
I like that. Yeah. I like that because I think people, they have their own. I mean, everybody has an opinion on everything.
Sure.
But I think unpopular are more interesting.
Yeah. Well, there's always some daylight. There's always room for something different because you could just do all the bland how to say this, and it's like sure, and I see the same thing when it comes to like travel content or like cultural stuff. It's like I could probably have 5 times as many followers if I made every video about how you shouldn't break spaghetti in half and drink cappuccino after noon. That people eat that shit up, but it's
it's not for you.
It's not for me. It's not what the kind of stuff that we like to make, and if we don't enjoy making it, how
would they enjoy it?
Yeah. There's an interview with Steve Jobs.
Yes.
There's an interview with Steve Jobs from the 90s where he was talking about television, like in the 90s. And he was saying how TV at that time, and still, I don't really watch TV. He was like, why is TV such garbage? Like, why is everything you see on TV such trash?
It still is.
It still is. And he was saying like, well, the interesting answer is why is it such garbage? It's because the networks are feeding this to us to dumb us down. It's like they want to keep us stupid. And he said that would be interesting, but the reality is, the truth is much more depressing, which is that what you see on TV is garbage because that's what the people like. That's what the people want to consume. And it's the same thing with social media. It's just a different platform. It's like 98% of what you see is just bland. You're not gaining anything from it. It's not insightful. It's not adding anything new, but that's what people like. And some people just want to tune out and scroll and see people breaking spaghetti in half and see people saying like how to say che cazzo. It's like, that's fine. And people do very well with that content, and more power to them for getting, millions of followers and doing very well. I'm jealous, but it's,
Makes sense though.
Yeah.
They just want to turn off their brains, probably.
Yeah. Which is fine. So, what else was I going to ask? I forgot.
Tell me.
How did you get to this point with your English? Because your English is very good.
Well, I had a very, very good teacher when I was in high school. So I learned all the basics very, very well. But then the speaking, I kind of like did it myself with like a language immersion, let's say. So I started watching movies and TV shows, YouTube videos in English, because it's not something that's taken for granted in Italy because everything is dubbed.
Yes.
So I started doing, watching in English. I started with Italian subtitles, then I moved to English subtitles. Now, YouTube I watch without subtitles. Netflix I tried. It's still a bit hard for me to watch without subtitles, but yeah. So that, and then just traveling, because they speak English almost everywhere. So just try to speak, and now I have people that I know that I speak English to them every day because I don't speak their language, and they don't speak Italian. So just a lot of listening and a lot of practice. I was telling one of my students last week, actually, how I learned through movies and TV shows how English speakers, they use the word like all the time. Like if I want to say like that I like this.
I've probably
like,
said it 50 times in this recording.
Yeah, but it's but this is what makes the difference, I think, to make you sound more natural. I don't realize if I say like a lot.
Yeah.
Probably sometimes.
Maybe some, but it's like che or troy.
Che, yeah.
But I don't like che. Okay, I'll tell you, as an English speaker, and who says like a lot, I'm aware that I do. It doesn't sound good. It makes you sound uneducated and not very eloquent. Is che the same way?
Oh yeah.
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 I would tell somebody learning English if you want to sound like a local, okay. But if you want to sound, if your goal is to speak at a professional level in English or give professional talks, don't say like, unless you're actually meaning it's like this.
Yeah.
But it makes you sound very local.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that for someone who's learning the language, when someone tells you, oh, you sound very good, you sound very natural, that's the biggest compliment,
Yes.
Even if it's not the best way to speak.
You can say like.
No, I was looking for something else, but yes. It's it's good. I know my English is good, but when someone tells me, especially a native speaker, I'm still like, oh,
sure.
Like I'm still, oh, thank you very much, thanks.
Do you speak it much? Do you speak English much here in Italy to people here?
No, not at all. I think you're the only person probably at the moment.
People tell me this. Italians tell me this, which is very surprising because you can find quite a bit here. But yeah, I mean,
but like tourists,
Americans
maybe
are annoying. I wouldn't really hang out with us either.
No, not like that. But maybe it's like tourists, I think.
Yeah, they come and they go.
Yeah. Like when I'm in the city of Assisi, there's like a big medieval event in May, and then I get to speak with someone because I wear the medieval dress, and so I got people that stop me, take pictures, and then I talk to them, and they ask, "Oh, what is this? What is this?" And it's a very complicated festival to explain. So my friends, they always push me in front, like, go explain to them, because we don't know how to explain to them. So yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good. You're the de facto tour guide. You just,
True. Yeah.
What else have you learned about teaching in this journey because you teach through a school, but you also work for yourself, kind of as an entrepreneur. You have following and you get students. What have you learned about different ways of approaching teaching with your experience?
I think it depends a lot on the discipline of the student. I was actually having this conversation with a student of mine a few days ago. There are some students that are very disciplined. So everything that I tell them, they do it, and they know how to practice by themselves. I had one person telling me, I just speak to myself in Italian in the mirror. And I'm like, that's great.
Yeah.
That's really great. And then I have another one that tells me when maybe she's doing house chores or something else, she said, she thinks, how would I say this in Italian? So if they are disciplined, that's very good. If they're not, then it's a problem. That's where I'm going to give you, the fill in the blanks exercises and speaking exercises.
Okay.
Yeah. It very depends on how the students approaches the language, because I always tell them, I can help you till a certain point. But then it comes a point where you need to willingly do your part.
Sure.
You need to show discipline and motivation and everything. I can help you, that 1 or 2 hours a week. I can give you homework, but still it would be a few hours a day only.
Yeah, they need to have.
Yeah. So I learned that you kind of have to be not a psychologist. Maybe it's too much, but almost. Almost.
You need to be able to, I guess, see the way that read
the person.
Read the person and see how they're And you can tell pretty quickly if they're putting
Oh,
in the
sure.
homework
Oh,
outside.
sure. Especially if they're beginners, right away.
Yeah.
Because when you start, I think the hardest part when you learn Italian is it really is the beginning, because you're just bombarded with like gender, number, verb conjugations, especially for an English speaker. You're like, whoa,
Yeah.
what is this?
Yeah.
Done.
Mm-hmm.
Then it will get easier over time. But in the beginning, if you don't study the basics for everything, not just Italian, for everything, you need the basics of,
Most of your students live in Italy or no?
Actually, yes. The ones that I have like privately, only, yes, because most of them are people who moved to Italy and then they realized, oh, I needed to know the language.
Yeah.
The ones that I get from the schools that I work for, no, most of them are in their home country. But yeah, people study Italian before coming to Italy.
I totally agree.
Yes, do that. It's not a place where you go and you're like, oh, but people will understand me if I speak English. No, I mean someone, but
They will if you stay in the big touristy areas, but why would you want to do that if you want to actually understand the culture and make friends? Yeah, when people come here and don't bother, it's like, hey, it's disrespectful to the culture. And it's like, if you wanted to just come here and only speak in English, then just stay in your home.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a tourist, okay.
Yeah, of course.
But if you want to stay here for a long time, then no.
Yeah.
English is not the way to go.
No, you'll get lonely because you'll feel like you're only in your little expat bubble. And those people come and go. Those people don't always stick around. And if you just stay, for me, what helped was I started before I moved here studying, and I got conversational before I even arrived.
Yeah.
But it was doing lessons every week. I think I did 3 lessons a week, like one-on-one with a teacher. This was before we met. If I had known you, I certainly would have called you. Don't worry, Julie.
Of course.
And then it was just like immersing as much as I could, which is TV shows, music not so much because I don't really like Italian music, but it would be like TV shows, movies, anything I could. Podcasts were a big one. YouTube videos where they're like interviewing people on the street. That kind of stuff was really helpful.
See, that's the discipline I was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, you're giving me a lot of credit. At that time, I was a bit more motivated than I currently am because now I'm at a level.
Yeah, but that was back then, no?
That was back then where
that's when you needed it more, maybe. You needed more in the beginning, no? Now you're relaxing because you're like, I know it.
I know it, but I don't know it as well as I should. And I
maybe we should continue in Italian.
Let's continue. We should.
Va bene.
Va bene, okay. Continuiamo in Italiano? No, because then I have to do subtitles for it.
So, yeah.
I might do subtitles in Italian for Italian listeners if it's interesting to them. What was I going to say? Oh, and then as soon as you can, I would recommend to people find friends that don't speak English. So when you come here and you want to hang out with these people, you have to speak Italian.
Yeah.
But obviously that requires a certain level to get to that point. And then make sure you keep hanging out with those friends because it's really good to forget how much you're relying on just hanging out with other English speakers or people who speak very good English like yourself.
That's what I did in China. That's the same mistake I did in China, hanging out with other foreigners.
You were with other Italians too, right?
I was with, when I was in Beijing, yes, many Italians. In Shanghai, one person was Italian.
Okay.
And then Dutch, Mexican, and we were all speaking
English. What were the Italians like in Beijing? How do Italians as a group behave in Beijing?
I feel like Italians in a group on vacation, they're like one of the worst type of tourists.
Why?
I feel like, because, well, one, we're very loud, which I guess it depends. But if you go to like Germany or the UK or Austria, oh my God, when I went to Austria, they just look at us like, why are you so loud or whatever. China is fine because Chinese are also kind of loud.
Okay.
But then I think the worst part is the food. Like Italians are, if I have to admit, not me personally, they are a bit difficult with food.
Yeah.
I would hear people say, "Oh, what's that? Che cos'è? Che c'è? Che roba è?" Something like that.
Che roba è?
Look, che roba è? Looking at the plate, and I'm like, just eat it. Like, don't be like that, please.
Yeah. And But did I imagine Italians, I find that once they try something, they tend to be pretty open to international cuisines, at least younger ones.
The younger ones, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The older generations,
No, they're not going to be eating scorpions
no.
anytime soon.
But I have to say, my grandma, she tried that Chinese dish and she liked it.
Yeah? Where, here?
Yeah.
Or in Mess today?
No. No. Here, someone made it for her.
Oh, good. Okay.
And she ate it maybe because she likes that person. So my boyfriend, just to be specific.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah.
That's fair.
Maybe because she likes him, so she tried it. But she liked it.
Yeah.
So.
Do you like spicy food?
I like spicy food. I don't have a high tolerance to it. I'm getting better by eating Chinese food. I'm getting better. Like one time, I think that was not a Chinese pepper though. I think it was a South American pepper. And I tried it and I had to go get milk in the fridge. The time after, when I tried it again, I didn't get milk. It was still very spicy, but I didn't get the milk. So I'm like, okay, maybe.
Now, hang on. Let's double click on this.
Oh, God.
You had Chinese food, which was spicy,
Mm-hmm.
and then you followed it with milk. This is a very non-Italian thing to drink milk after you have like a salty meal.
Yeah, but that because milk helps with the spice because it's fat.
I know.
Right?
But I think you just lost your Italian citizenship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gonna get my passport back, maybe.
I'm sorry. Did you bring it with you?
No.
Okay.
Next time.
That's just, I realized how...
But it was necessary, like your throat's on fire, your tongue's on fire.
Did it help?
Yes.
Okay.
It helped. Cold milk, not a cappuccino or anything like that. Just cold milk from the fridge,
Okay. Now, not a cappuccino.
Cold milk from the fridge.
God forbid a cappuccino. We can't have it be hot milk.
But true. No, but can I say something? Okay, so personally,
please.
I'm not a big coffee drinker. Like I get it in the morning.
Sure.
And then if I'm tired, maybe later during the day. But for me, if you want to have a cappuccino later, after 11 or 12, just get it. Whatever.
My God.
Whatever. Not together with your meal. Like don't eat pasta and drink cappuccino at the same time. That's still weird for me.
Sure.
But if you want it.
Oh my God. I can't believe you're saying this. No, I'm joking. Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
And a lot of Italians say this. They're like, okay, I'm not going to have it with pizza, but if I want to have it at 3 p.m. by itself.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I was the same way. So like if someone would tell me, oh, let's go get a cappuccino, I'd be like, no, I cannot order a cappuccino for you, even if it's not for me, but it's for you.
Sure.
I cannot order it. And they'd be like, but come on, what's the problem? I was feeling a little embarrassed to go to the barman and say, oh, bar, because in Italian, bar is cafe, it's bar, But now I think as time goes by, maybe I'm getting older, I don't care about this bullshit.
Life's too short, just
get it.
Just get it. Whatever.
Yeah. I wouldn't personally, but you can get it. You can have it. Not my problem.
What's interesting is that if you go to Liguria, if you go to Genova, there they're famous for the focaccia.
Yeah.
They will get focaccia, like plain focaccia, not like with pomodoro and all this shit, like actual focaccia. And they'll dip it in the cappuccino.
No,
this is what they do for breakfast in Liguria.
No,
so Italy is very full of contradictions.
Yeah.
It's like please.
Oh, now that you mentioned contradictions, pineapple on pizza?
Oh, do I?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like pineapple in general. So, but there are places where they put kiwi on pizza here.
Yeah.
And fig.
Yeah, fig. That's all.
Yeah.
Italy, get it together.
Oh, kiwi, I've seen it in like Sweden or Norway, maybe. I think that was. Okay, in Italy was fig. Yeah, fig. Because fig goes
but
good
they have
with
similar,
ham.
like the seeds. So I can see where you...
Yeah, I got confused there. Yeah, it's fig. So I'm like, okay, you're complaining about the pineapple, but you put fig on a pizza.
Yeah, what are we doing? Nothing means anything anymore.
True.
That's fine.
True.
Like, I don't want to... Or like the no cheese on seafood. Okay. Then you go into Puglia and they do they do kotse, they do mussels with cheese. It's like,
okay.
again, it's just this. It's all bullshit.
Yeah. That one I cannot say because I don't eat seafood, so I
No,
cannot.
are you allergic?
I just don't like the flavor.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Nothing at all.
No, it's too fishy for me. I don't like the fishiness.
Sure. Yeah, fishy. Yeah, it tends to be fishy.
And meat tends to be meaty.
And yeah, it does. Sushi? No.
No. I tried it actually. It's not that as fishy as I would
It's
think.
not as fishy.
Yeah, I tried salmon
Okay.
sushi, but I wouldn't go for it anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're talking about food too much, and now I'm hungry. Do you want to go? Do you have to? Or are you like, I'm done? Okay.
No problem.
Good, because I made some pineapple pizza. Wouldn't that be great if I pulled it out?
I'll be like, I tried it. In the States.
Where did you go in the States?
I went to San Francisco, Vegas, Grand Canyon, Yosemite, Death Valley, Washington, D.C., and New York.
You've seen like more than me. Like,
no,
I've seen Washington, D.C. and New York. Every other place you just mentioned, I've never been to.
Oh, really? Oh.
The U.S. is big, and I did.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah. But San Francisco, I heard now it's not that nice anymore.
When did you go?
When did I go?
Yeah.
2011. Yeah. But the Death Valley was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I went, it wasn't me who decided, it was like a group tour. If we went there, I think it was August 15 or something. It was like 50 degrees Celsius. The tour guide told us buy fruit and eat fruit the whole day. The whole day. That helped, I have to say. Fruit really helped, but it was very, 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 very warm. I think it was probably the warmest place I've been.
But it was still dry, like here.
Yeah. It's dry. It's dry, but better than humid. For me, at least.
Wait, so you had pineapple on pizza in San Francisco?
Yeah, at the I stayed at the I was near San Francisco. I was in Berkeley University to do an English course.
Look at you!
And
wow.
Yeah, so we would stay in the. Oh, and there I had my. Well, let me finish this. Otherwise, I'm going to see. I already forgot. Oh yeah, I was in Berkeley and I tried the pineapple pizza at the canteen of the university.
Okay.
So probably not. Is that canteen, right? How do they call it?
In the U.S. we would call that the.
Sure, that's UK. I think they say canteen.
That's a UK
right?
thing. We would call that the cafeteria, which is very confusing because it's not where they make coffee.
No. Okay, so I tried it at the cafeteria at Berkeley, University of California in Berkeley. Yes.
So it was probably okay.
I don't like pineapple. That's my problem.
I don't have a problem with pineapple on pizza. I don't really care. I don't like warm pineapple.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I agree. I also don't like warm fruit.
Yeah.
Like apple pie, I don't really like it when the apple is cold. It's warm. Yeah, no, I don't like warm fruit. But that thing that I was saying before, in Berkeley, I had my moment. You know, when like us Europeans, we come to America and we're like, that's like the movies.
Yeah.
There I had my moment because they took us in the neighborhood of the campus with all the sororities houses.
Yeah.
And so I saw all those houses with those Greek letters. Yeah. And that was my moment. I was like,
yeah,
it's like in the movies. That's so dumb. But I was
love that stuff.
I was looking at that. I was like,
yeah,
that's so cool. Maybe it's not, but to me it was, and I was 17 at the time.
Oh, of course, it's like amazing.
It was like the coolest.
Yeah, I had a friend tell me, and she'd never been to the U.S., and she told me, she's like, I want to go to the U.S. You guys, you have like, you know, football and American football and
football.
like the schools with the lockers and pep rallies, and I was like.
The school with the lockers.
She said, maybe I'm paraphrasing.
Great.
But then she said, you guys, it seems like you guys are always having a party. And I'm thinking, it's in the mood, like, okay, High School Musical is one big party, sure. Or like Animal House. Yeah, these are all parties, but Italians party way more than Americans. Yeah. Way more. You guys have the Festa di Sun, blah, blah, blah. Every other day there's a holiday. And it's like, oh, everybody's going out tonight for the patron saint of trees tonight. It's you guys, you don't party like get drunk and throw up in the dumpster like that, but you
Well,
enjoy yourselves much more than we do in the US. I
yeah,
will
yeah,
say
yeah.
that.
Well, the drunk part, I think it depends on the age.
Sure.
The younger you are, the
Sure.
more you get drunk. And when you get older, you're just like, okay, let me just calm down.
Yes, that's true. I mean, even here in a university town, it's not like being in the UK, where when you see like, if you see like a group of young guys in the UK out at night, they're trashed and they're gonna like yell and throw bottles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Here, you see that, but it's not as strong. Italians drink much more moderately, from what I can tell.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe because we're more used to it. Like there's not this big stigma around alcohol, like my dad made me try wine when I was underage, just a
Yeah.
little bit. Like, let's just try it,
Sure,
just try
sure.
just a little bit. Let's try a little bit of limoncello.
Yeah, why
You
not?
know,
Yeah, you're 9. Why not?
it's not not at 9, maybe at 14,
Sure.
15, maybe, but it's not that this big of a deal.
Yeah.
Still to this day, if we have guests at home, my dad just pours me everything.
Sure.
White wine, red wine,
Yeah.
grappa.
What are some things you've noticed? Because you're a well-traveled woman. You've been to the U.S. and China and other, and you communicate with a lot of foreigners. What are some things you've noticed about, like, what are some Italian stereotypes that are not true? Yeah, what's like one you can think of that people think that is just not true? It's a myth about Italian culture.
Well, what this means probably spaghetti, pizza. I'm like, no.
But it does
like,
mean spaghetti and pizza.
No, it does.
You just do this and they bring you spaghetti, right?
Yeah, sure thing, sure. Yeah, I think it's just the way we use the gestures that they just think that we use it randomly.
Yeah, like
But
it
no.
doesn't actually mean,
Yeah.
and it's not from the wrist.
No, it's
like,
the whole
it's the whole thing.
forearm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, and then the food, because a lot of people, they associate Italian food with Italian American food.
Sure. What do you think is the coolest part about Italian culture? What are you most proud of?
Wow, that's a difficult question. That's a
Or
very
maybe you're not
difficult
proud of any of it.
question. Oh God, you took me a little off guard here.
I can think of some things while you're thinking that I really like.
All right.
I really like that Italians, they're social, but they're social. What does that mean? They put a lot of effort into getting together with friends on a regular basis.
Oh yeah.
Or it's not even effort. It's just part of the culture of like best friends. When I tell Italians that back in the States, I would see my best friends, one of them like once a month, another one twice a month. That's crazy. Here it's like multiple times a week you get together with your best friend, because you can walk. It's like, hey, you call them up like, hey, prendiamo un caffè, and you just walk there 10 minutes, you meet each other. That doesn't exist in the US unless you're in a big city. You can't walk anywhere and be that convenient. So I appreciate how regularly friend groups get together here a lot.
Well, then I can say the same about family. Like Sundays, for example, you had the Sunday lunch with the whole family and the pastarelle, like the little pastries that we buy all together. And then the grandma pulls out the homemade limoncello or the homemade grappa. Yeah, and I also like the eating culture in the sense of the time that we take to eat. Like when we go out to eat, we just sit down, we talk, we take our time. And then in other cultures, it's like, it's you're done, you have to go. Like just go. I just like this very chill, gatherings. You just sit, you talk. There's no need to like rush.
Sure.
After you're done, you just sit there, especially at home, at restaurants too, but at home more. Yeah, I like that. Just take their time. Don't rush when it comes to hanging out with family, with friends.
Sure. Yeah.
Just this eating that it's about, being together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of Italian Americans that still are attached to their culture, they still maintain a lot of that. Even though they have changed, the recipes of the food have evolved, there's still a lot of that. Like even my family, me being very distant from my Italian American roots at this point, even we would still get together every Sunday, my
that's nice.
parents and my sister.
Yeah.
And that would be largely motivated by my mom. She's not Italian at all. She just, it's good to do that, get together if you can. And if you're lucky enough to be close enough to your family. Yeah, I can see that a lot. There's a big emphasis on family here for sure.
Yeah. And also like traditions. like I was mentioning before, that medieval festival. My family, well, my dad, me, and my brother participate every year, and it's like a tradition that you just keep going. And I try to explain to people who are not from there, and they just don't understand it, because it's like the idea of belonging to that place. Like, those are
Sure.
your people. Yes, of
Sure.
course, go out and see the world. That's great, but that's the place where you have your
Yes.
people to
Yes.
go back to, and then you get to do this big event together, and you're rooting because it's like a competition between two parts of the city.
Two parts of the little
Yeah,
city,
yeah,
and
yeah,
there's
yeah.
so much pride, and
Yes,
nobody else
yes.
outside of the city really understands it.
No, that's true. That's true. I mean, some people appreciate it, but it's, I've been telling one of my friends, because she's not from here, she's from another Italian region, to come and see it. Because I'm like, the only way that you can understand these types of events is like you
Yes.
have to be there, you have to
Yes.
live it as in the audience, maybe not necessarily as a
Yeah.
part of it, but
Yeah, it's
yeah.
really anybody who gets a
Yeah.
chance to see one of these small town festivals, it's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
most amazing
yeah,
thing
yeah,
to
yeah,
see
yeah,
a
yeah,
culture, a
yeah,
small town of, it can be like 4,000 people. They
yeah,
just it's the most important thing
yeah,
of the
yeah,
year for
yeah,
them. Still
yeah,
in
yeah,
2025, it's really
yeah,
special.
yeah. You just see the pride and the joy in in what these people that organize this thing do. Like, they just put all of themselves into this. They start preparing like months and months before, like just the effort that goes into
Yeah.
it. You really need to be, you know, passionate about it, because it's not that they earn anything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a time, it's an expense.
Me
It's
too.
not, yeah, it's not a
Yeah,
business.
yeah, me too. Like, I buy the dress. Well, not I don't. I rent the dress. But still, you rent the dress, and then you have to buy stuff for your hair. For women, we have to do like some sort of thing with our hair
What
and
era, what
everything.
time period are you dressing up to be at?
Medieval.
Medieval. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we covered pretty much everything. This was great. I think we should do this again at some point.
Okay.
Sure. Like, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I guess that there will be other things to talk about anyway.
Yeah. Well, this is the second time we've met.
Yeah.
Well, third time. This is the second time we've hung out. The first time was us meeting.
Yes.
And then
Oh, that was still funny.
that was
to think
funny.
about it. Are you Anthony?
Yeah, we met because she saw me here in the city center, was like, I think I know you from Instagram. And then, which
That
always,
is,
I feel bad because it's like, I didn't know you.
yeah, no, of course. How would you?
Yeah.
No, it's just weird to go up to someone and say, "Oh, I've seen you here or here or here." I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah,
Glad
I
you-
mean, it was like a restroom, so
It was. We were waiting in line for the bath. I mean, like, are you?
yeah, I was like, okay. I mean, I would just ask, I guess.
Okay, so where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram, Italiano con Giulia.
Italiano con Giulia.
Italiano con Giulia. Yeah, no spaces, no symbols.
I'll link it.
anything.
I'll put it in the thing.
Yes, yes.
They could take Italian lessons. You do beginner, advanced.
Yeah. I do mainly beginners. I do conversation. And I also do occasionally, if people needed certificates, which I'm not a big fan of, but I understand that people need it. So I do that.
Sure, because some people need to take the exams to get citizenship or something like that.
Yeah. Or to attend the university or
Sure.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do that as well.
And you do these all video, one-on-one. People
Yeah.
can be anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Great. That, from personal experience, it's really amazing how you can learn a language without even being in the country.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be in Italy to get conversation. You
No.
can take lessons with
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Of course.
speak on a weekly basis. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the next best thing. And then
True. It's definitely not necessary to be in Italy. I had students that have been in Italy for a year. They can just say buongiorno and ciao. So even if you live there, it doesn't mean you can speak.
True. You have to want it.
True.
Okay. Well, that's it. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you for having me again.
Yes. Until next time.
Till next time. Bye.
Bye.